Yo, wow, that didn't look good. How you guys doing? Let me get this a little tilted up for you guys. And we are here. Let me move this out the way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I feel like if I were to zoom this up a little bit, it would be a bit better. Now, yeah, because over here, if we look at how we have this camera set up currently, not a fan. Not a fan, because you can see. So let's just set this up. There we go. I'm in the middle now. I didn't kill that bottle before this episode. Let's just get that clear. Not even a wine guy like that. But how you guys doing today? It is a week away from Christmas. If you're a Gentile, you are excited. Okay, the Gentiles start their holiday in a week. Let me put these headphones on so I can monitor audio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I also feel like I'm so fat in the face. This is like just I'm not. I mean, I haven't my girlfriend's been here, so I haven't been able to work out, but that's here nor there. What I want to discuss today, we have a few things. We have, of course, the Anthony Edwards saga that's ongoing, as well as what else did we put on here? Of course, the Chance Comanche stuff, if you guys have been following that. Additionally, we do have some realistic trade rumors that are going on. We'll touch on those. And then, do the Suns have a problem? Mr. Bradley Beal shows up and gets hurt in game one, not game one, but game two, game three of his return. So that was definitely something that was probably unforeseen for everyone involved. And I think that's kind of where we'll start the show today. Just making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Now, let's get right into it. If you guys haven't been seeing, we'll pull up this story right here. Let me pull up we got this trio monitors, two computers, dual computer situation going right here. So it makes a lot more sense if I can situate myself a bit more to the right side. Oh, we lost power, it seems, last night because my computer just shut off. But surprisingly, this other computer wasn't shut off. So my whole thought process might have, I don't even know how. But either way, Chance Comanche, if you guys haven't been hearing, this is a wild story that if you aren't keeping the right way to say it is an ear to the NBA, you might not have heard of it because it's a G Leaguer, but it's also DeMarcus Cousins in Taiwan, ladies and gentlemen. DeMarcus Cousins in Taiwan. Congratulations to him. But what we're seeing is Chance Comanche, a G League player for the Stockton Kings. Well, he's not a G League player no more, but he was a G Leaguer for the Stockton Kings. And the report was that him and his girlfriend, he's 27 years old, Arizona Wildcat legend. He, 27 years old, his girlfriend of 19 years old, allegedly kidnapped and murdered a woman in Las Vegas. They found the body in Henderson. And it's a pretty gnarly story. We saw all the insiders touch on it yesterday. If you guys follow Woj, Crispy Haynes, and Shams Charania, they all basically briefed on it. So it was an execution style murder plan. They had first off, I want to say his girlfriend kind of white trash looking. And I would like to say that. I don't mean to be rude, but like if we were going to say someone doesn't look like the best, type of human, I would definitely say the person on the right that looks like someone who would commit murder. Maybe, I mean, I've never committed murder, but over here, ladies and gentlemen, not the friendliest looking of foes, but so they murdered a medical assistant. So basically a G League Stockton Kings player, Chance Comanche, and his girlfriend, who's 8 years younger, went ahead and took this girl. We don't really know like the preference for, so they were supposed to hang out on December 5th, prearranged plans. Harden, who would bring her boyfriend, they thought there was foul play, obtained evidence to arrest Comanche and Harden. And what happened was, the girlfriend was arrested in Las Vegas while Comanche was arrested by the California Apprehension Team in California, and he's being extradited to Nevada. And they released him, but she's being held on $500,000 bail for first degree kidnapping charge. and it's sad because loved ones have said that Rogers had a good job, would never leave her family back home in Washington State, abandoned her dogs that she brought to Las Vegas, and a criminal complaint for kidnapping charges against Harden stated that she held or detained Rogers against her will and with the purpose of killing or inflicting bodily harm. While they're not saying in a separate case, Harden faced the theft charge. She was accused of stealing at least one Rolex. Jesus Christ. Now, they're not saying anything about Comanche because I believe that Comanche, because he's not been in custody, they're not going to really touch that right there. But I wonder, I wonder what's going to happen right here. I wanted to hear what Luke had to say about this. I know we got ourselves Jackson on the over here pulling up. I don't know if you've heard about this, Jackson. I meant to readjust this picture, but you're following this whole Chance Comanche thing, right?
Oh,
So Chance Comanche just got released from the G League. He he is now being extradited to Nevada because him and his girlfriend kidnapped a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old and murdered her in Henderson, Nevada, outside of Las Vegas. Is that fucking crazy?
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Did you not know about this?
No, I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. First off, can we agree this? So supposedly that mugshot, I believe to the right is when this his girlfriend. First off, they're 8 years apart. Chance Comanche, Arizona Wildcat legend, is 27. She's 19, and she was just recently arrested for stealing at least one Rolex. This is wild, wild story. Also, if she murdered the person, could this guy Chance pull a Brandon Miller? Because you know Brandon Miller got away with basically being an accomplice to murder. Like Luke and a couple other people have explained it to me, but basically Alabama is like one of two states that like doesn't have I guess like accomplice charges like in their constitution. So like basically from what I've been told is like the situation that Brandon Miller was in, if he was literally in any other state, he would be in jail probably 30 to 50 years. Isn't that
I don't
insane?
really, I don't really trust words out of Luke's mouth.
I mean, he's a
He's been on
lawyer.
this show for the last 4 months, but
That's very true. That's very true. And we were texting him this morning, so. But how was your weekend, bud?
it's good over you.
It was good. I feel fat as fuck. I haven't been able to work out, so like I literally feel like I'm the fattest person in the world. You drinking coffee? I just finished mine.
Yeah, this is way too early for a Monday.
It's not. I mean,
Crazy.
I wake up at like 6:37. So this is 2 hours into my day. Even though today I slept in. Alper Shagun, most improved.
Wow. Hmm?
We would say he's the front runner to be most improved player of the year.
Very nice.
I mean, he's averaging 19.7 points, just under 10 rebounds, or I believe he's had 10 rebounds, shooting like 53% from the field. How
I
many
think
think
he is at 10.
he is a
Nine
10?
and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I think it might be 9. I want to say it's like 9.7. 9.7 sounds really right.
Yeah.
And then he's averaging like 5.2 assists. I think like a block a game with almost a steal game. It's actually kind of all around. Very impressive stats. Also, rebranded everything.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks nice.
And I also did the intro. I rebranded the intro with the NBA show for you.
Nice.
So now it says both. So that I got that done. But okay, let's move on to I had a pretty simple show today. Just want to touch things. Did you follow the Anthony Edwards drama that unfolded? I woke up to this. I didn't see Luke
I
had
saw it
sent.
last night.
So we're just gonna touch on it. Not that it's a big deal or anything, but just
However,
that
these are headliners. That's crazy.
Chance come
Chance
on.
Comanche and Anthony Edwards' baby mama.
Well, I
Slow
was
weekend.
Well, I was looking at what other shows were doing,
I don't give
and
a shit about what other shows are doing. That's the first issue.
well, not like that. So no other shows were doing this. I just wanted to give us concrete headlines of things
No
that.
shows are doing this. That's
Uh,
good.
huh?
That's good.
What?
I don't have opinions on either of these two matters.
We can change. I just want to. I can change the headline, but I just wanted
What's
to.
what was Anthony Edwards' first text message? That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna more laugh at it, not like give an
What was
opinion.
his I mean that's his business. I don't care about
I
his
just think the
business.
send the video thing is funny as fuck.
The send the video was funny. But his first text too was like
Here, I gotta
she
pull.
she said like I'm pregnant and he was like, what you talking about? Or no, he said something.
He basically said get an abortion.
No, he did say, oh yeah, he said, hell no, I can't do this.
Yeah, hell no, I can't do this. Also, I love how you spell hell no like narwhal.
No.
No,
Hell
no,
no.
no, hell no. Well, I also like how she responded, period, period, period. So now what? What a great response. Get an abortion. First off,
Yep.
woman's choice. We're just laughing at the context of the situation. I'm just saying, okay, you're a professional athlete, Jackson. Okay, let's just put you in this situation. Wouldn't you just freeze your sperm and get a vasectomy? So then,
No.
boom,
I'd pump out as many as I could.
you'd be
I was
Antonio.
rich.
You'd be like Nick Cannon, you Antonio Cromartie with like 13 of them bitches.
I probably would be like Nick Cannon. Yeah. I'd pump them out.
Yeah, people be like, oh man, like we don't have like a stand-in army. You'd be like, bro, you don't even need to hire security. Your kids are your security team.
Yeah. I mean, not at Anthony Edwards' age, so not at our age, but
In the future,
like 32, I'd pump out like
people are
four
gonna
at
look at your
least.
family and be like, damn, dude, Jackson had a hobby,
It's the hobby sex.
procreating. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
but okay, that's not the point. I said I had an abortion 2 years. This is the best line. Honestly, I had an abortion with my son around 2 years ago. First off, how is it her son? I don't mean to be rude, but like, isn't it dead or it didn't exist?
What do you mean?
She goes, honestly, I had an abortion with my son around 2 years ago, and I regret it every day. You don't have a son. That shit dead, right? It got
Yeah,
aborted.
yeah, I guess, but like,
Am I rude?
I don't think rude's the word, but
I think the best. There's another line right after this where he
it's
goes.
weird.
He says, "You got the money. What's the holdup?"
Yes.
The
Send a video. Send a video.
video, dude. This bitch. No, she's not a bitch, but
This girl's, I don't know. I mean, like, at the same time, he's he's got some texts, he's got some things to say, but I don't like her tone in these texts. But you know what? She's pregnant, so I don't mean it like that. I
yeah.
just
I mean, it's her body, her choice.
well, that's not the point.
That's
But
not the point. But the whole thing is right here though. I love how she goes at 9:41. She go. Well, I haven't taken them or received anything.
why are you repeating the
Why
same
are you
shit?
repeating the same shit? And then he sends a message a full fucking 18 hours later. Going the video, and she goes, "I was asleep, bitch. You were. I can't say bitch. I don't know her, but like, woman, you were asleep for 18 hours."
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know either of them, but she doesn't seem very fun to text. I don't know, but neither does he.
Yeah. Also, the picture of the baby outfit, passive aggressive. That's gaslighting.
That's yeah,
That's gaslighting, right?
but like I
That's
don't know.
gaslighting.
She's pregnant.
This
I don't
man's
know.
asking you for an abortion. And you send him a picture of a girl in a onesie saying, "How cute, heartbroken."
Send a video. I I don't know. I don't know. I don't like uh, pregnancies or like that's like that's
Ja-
like real. Idea works isn't the real
Jackson's
world.
the type of guy to hit it and quit it, and if the condom breaks, he leaves $40 for Plan B.
Jeez.
You can take care of this, right? Uh, Me and the boys were gonna hit Top Golf in the morning, so I better go get
The
sleep.
morning. I got a tea time. Oh, jeez.
You can take care of this yourself, right? Those
Those all the texts.
aren't
I was
texts.
wrong. I was wrong. Those are funny texts. But I'd be
Jackson's
curious to go back. What I'm more curious is I'd be curious to go back at those dates and see
see how they match up with your texts. Go see your son
no
for
see
once
what
in a
he
while
was see his stats on
in
those
bed.
days.
Oh,
Yeah,
on those days,
yeah. Because I actually would imagine that they would be
you want to see if there's a correlation
not
if you
very
played
good.
better or bad. Yeah, if you had a bad night.
I assume it's gonna be bad.
I understand. I mean, that does make sense.
I mean, how recent are these texts? Was that December?
It says November 27th on them, some bitches.
Oh yeah. Because
So
wasn't he struggling recently? Or was that just like the other night?
you
Because
just
he's
had like one
banged up.
game. You had one
He had
game.
like what 7 points the other night.
You did have 7 points the other night.
Yeah, and then he had like 11 the game before that or something. But he
Or
is banged up.
he is banged up. He's had a long season. Over here, but Jackson might be putting together. Maybe Anthony Edwards' recent struggles have been, pussy on my mind.
Send a video.
That's
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna. Is it shitty if I use that for the next year or so in the group chat
send the
whenever something happens?
send the video.
Send a video.
Nah, I think that's fine.
Hell
That's fair.
no.
That's fair. That's fair game. Send the video. Fair game.
Hell no.
Now, if you tell one of us to get an abortion, we're gonna say it's our choice, our body. Did you get new
Hell
glasses?
no. These are blue light glasses.
You look so
Crazy you
dumb.
I know.
like you look like you're about to try to sell me like perfume at the mall. Like you're like,
I
were you running those kiosks?
Why is the reflection so
I don't know, but
reflecting?
can you talk in an accent? Would you go, hey brother, you want to smell nice for the ladies?
I look
You want to go?
I look Eastern European.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think so.
That's what I'm saying. You look Eastern European, like
No
you're from
way.
Prague. You look like you're from Prague. Come here,
Really?
brother. Come here, brother. You want to smell
I don't
nice
think
for the
that's how
ladies?
Prague
You want to
is
smell nice
called.
for the ladies? You want to smell nice for the ladies on Saturday? You go to club. You go to club. Come here. Let me give you spritz.
I don't know. I think I look kind of cute.
You're like from Copenhagen.
Yeah. I like that. I like that more. I'm like
You want ecstasy? You want
I'm like
ecstasy?
no, that's too hard, dude. I've got glasses. I'm a geek. I feel like I'm like a computer analyst, like a data analyst for some big tech company. And
We
my
torrent
hobbies include biking,
torrenting.
cooking, and hiking, cooking, and that obviously reading. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, yeah.
All right, you want to hear who got hurt like game 2 or 3 since coming back from injury? Take a guess. Your favorite player in the world. One that you knew he was going to be worth every penny.
Oh, Ahmad Thompson.
No.
Mm,
He's likely out for a few weeks with a right ankle injury. Take a guess who this schmuck is. Oh, he's getting himself into some sort of schmutz.
Alex Caruso.
No. You want one more guess or you give up?
Uh, I'd like another hint.
He was recently traded this offseason is your hint. I feel like that's a good hint.
on a team I like.
I wouldn't necessarily say you like this team.
Oh.
They're considered or
Oh,
were considered in the preseason contenders.
oh,
You want to say oh one more fucking time?
oh, I don't know. I don't know. Who is it?
It is. Drum roll, please.
Oh, wait.
Bradley Beal likely out for a few weeks with a right
Oh,
ankle injury. Bradley Beal was just injured in his third game back from his back injury, 4 minutes and 32
oh
seconds into
no.
his third game. He appears to be out for at least a few weeks. And the question we have to
I'm
ask,
so shocked.
are the Phoenix Suns awful? So the Phoenix Suns,
Jeez.
somebody wrote a great article that I made a video over the other week on, basically saying they went on this offense. They approached this offseason getting Bradley Beal, that this big three was going to work. They didn't need a traditional point guard, that they were going to do it's his turn, then it's his turn,
Who?
then it's his turn, and that it was going to work out Devin Booker and Bradley Beal being the two guards. First off, Bradley Beal has not been there to begin with. Okay. Now, this team, in my opinion, defensively is like not that great. Joseph Nurkic, honestly, they were right. He's giving you very similar to what DeAndre Ayton was. He isn't great defensively, but look, DeAndre Ayton fucking isn't that great. Look at what DeAndre Ayton's doing in
Do-
Portland.
Domination is quickly turning into a terrible thing right now.
That's what I'm.
So
So they.
it's like a loss for loss at the moment. I don't know what the hell is going on with
I mean,
domination.
honestly, Phoenix making it look like they're smart. They're paying a guy who's equal production for half the cost. I mean, in a weird way, they won. In a weird way, they won. But do
I don't
you
know.
agree that this team has a problem?
I'm telling you that for like 8 months. Phoenix Suns have a problem. Um,
It's bad, dude.
hmm,
It's bad.
let me think. They don't have a point guard.
That's what I'm saying. The biggest thing, they don't have a fucking point guard.
Their
They just
center sucks. Their center can't take a punch like a man. Their center's a pussy.
all right now. This feels like it's getting personal.
It is personal. Fuck the Suns. Fuck them. Fuck them. I got nothing for them. They're dirty. It actually seems like a really cool city. And if I lived in Phoenix, I'd become like a nice Suns fan. But well, I love Booker. Henry and I were just arguing about D Book last night because that dude
I
I
love D
don't think
Book.
is enough.
I don't think D Book is enough, but I do. I agree that I love me some
He's
D
so
Book.
cool.
D Book's a fun
Yeah, he's
guy.
so cool.
He's a cool
I
guy.
hope like Suns Celtics would just
Timothy
be straight
Chalawan took
finals.
his pussy though.
Kendall Jenner,
Kylie, right, or Kendall? Who's fucking
Devin
Kylie?
Booker, and Kylie Kendall Jenner broke up.
Who? Which one was Devin with? Kylie or Kendall?
I don't know.
He
I
was
thought it
with.
was Kendall.
Okay, if it was Kendall, it doesn't matter. Timothy's with
Oh, well, ask
Kylie.
Henry. Henry will know.
Henry's on that fag shit. But
Oh,
what?
but
Give us
the
your
thing
rant.
with the Phoenix Suns is KD drops 30 and it doesn't even feel like there was an impact on the game. And Bradley Beal is never healthy, and I still don't think it's enough. But I hope it is because I want all three of those players to get a ring, and this is a good opportunity.
No, I agree, and I think it is a great opportunity. And the whole thing with this is, like first off, I think Devin Booker has shown up. Devin Booker is like honestly, he's been hurt, but like he's shown up when he's played. Dude, Bradley Beal hasn't done shit when he's played. Like it hasn't been great. All right,
Oh,
like, and this is coming from a guy who's a Wizards fan, and I don't mean to disrespect Bradley Beal. I know he's struggling through injury, and but this team, okay, statistically, let me pull up some stats for you, buddy boy. Okay, right here. Let's go over here, and let's talk about these stats on the screen right now. Which
Vogel was like this defensive maestro.
who?
Frank Vogel and Clint Snyder.
I mean, this team was terrible defensively. I mean, they weren't terrible defensively, but like they weren't great defensively.
Check history. I bet you they were. I bet you they were the 12th ranked defense last season.
Wow, you're
Oh
right.
yeah. Oh, I'm yep. Frank Vogel, defensive maestro.
You're right, Frank Vogel, kind of. But I mean, let's also agree like this roster isn't as good as last year's roster.
Well, that's not good. You got Bradley freaking Beal.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
That's not good. Their
No,
roster's loaded, dude. They're loaded.
okay. So
Skip.
Kevin
They're
Durant.
loaded.
I mean,
Kevin Durant every single night drops like
no, I
32
agree.
points, and it doesn't have an impact on the game, and it's just crazy.
So right here, what I'm trying to pull up is so Durant is averaging 30 points a night. Book's averaging 28 and five with eight. Dude, Book's really their point guard this year. Book's out here dropping eight
Yeah,
assists a night. Grayson Allen's also having a really solid year. Eric Gordon's okay. Joseph Nurkic is Joseph Nurkic. But look at Bradley Beal, 15 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. It's just sad. Like, and then the team,
6 games.
yeah, 6 games only. That's
You
25
know,
minutes.
I'd compare Book this year to what they need him to do, what they're asking him to do is with New Orleans, and it's like this is like the third straight year the Pelicans don't have a point guard and they're just running with CJ. They don't even have like a competent. I mean, they have competent backup point guards, but they don't have these like pass first backup guards on the Pelicans. And so, as good as CJ and Devin Booker are at passing and playmaking for their teammates, they're doing a great job. Both of them are doing a great job. Booker's doing a phenomenal job. It's just not. Wouldn't you want a point guard in there as well, even if it's like a guy like Campaign, just so I can be less reliant on Devin Booker every single night for the entire NBA season to have to create for my teammates? Like,
No,
I
I
don't think
agree.
he's suited for that. I think that's just too much to ask for Book.
Would you trade? I don't know why I got so close, but would you trade? Looking at the screen over here, okay, obviously no one's going to take Bradley Beal, and I think you can't trade Grayson Allen because he's too important for your team. So my thought process right here is who who can you trade on the from the screen that I'll show you in a second. There isn't anybody you can really trade,
Eric
right?
Gordon?
I feel like Eric Gordon though, he's like like you can't. You don't have much
Well, I
scoring.
also don't think I can have Eric Gordon and Grayson Allen.
I think you can have both of them. I think you gotta move fucking.
Seems like a barbecue chicken.
If you could split Joseph Nurkic and like Bol, split them off to a team and try to get two guys back, that'd be the dream situation. Like if I called up like the Wizards and was like, "Here's Joseph Nurkic and Bol and a bunch of second round picks for like Daniel Gafford and the Lawn Wrights," I'd feel like that's a win in my book.
I agree, but this isn't unfortunately 2K, and I feel like teams don't make smart moves like that.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. And
Especially because, like, I guess it's been 25 games, so why bother with it
yeah, and
if it's
also
not going to improve that much?
what the Wizards would only just be getting second round picks. Like the Wizards wouldn't really be. They'd be just helping out the Suns to help out the Suns at that point.
That'd be, yeah, I mean, it's just,
It's unlikely.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So I wanted to talk about next,
They
which
should trade for domination.
trade
Right.
back, trade back for domination. Well, after they wait for him to the sign and well, like
Ooh,
not
Clint
the
Capella.
maybe. So guess who's potentially on the trade block? So we're hearing that a man that I actually know that you're a fan of. You've talked about it, and this is coming from the beat writer of the what do you call it? The Pistons. So what we're hearing specifically is Beef Stew is drawing interest from contending teams. He's still making only $5 million this year. And the report, to be exact, is from James L. Edwards, the third from The Athletic, and says contending teams like the Boston Celtics, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Dallas Mavericks have all shown great interest in acquiring Beef Stew. And why shouldn't they? I mean, he's like the perfect, like, can play both spots, the big spot, the power forwards, like the center or the power forward spot. He can shoot threes. He can guard multiple positions. He's kind of like crazy too. So he gives you like that psychopathic energy that like some coaches absolutely love. And I feel like if you give up a young guy and like a pick, because he's making $5 million, I believe, for this season, and then his contract comes into effect next season, you can get him cheaper and then go into the red for him going into next year's, but already I'm on the book for cheap this year. What do you think about that? Would you, if you were a contending team, if you were the Rockets, would you trade Jock Landale in a first round pick for Beef Stew?
Oh, a first round pick for beef stew? Hell
He's
no.
under contract though for the next
Fuck,
5 years.
fuck no.
Under contract.
Fuck no.
Under
So I
contract.
can have so I can inherit his 9 and 5 for a first round pick. I'm all set. But yeah, if the Celtics you say, that's kind of perfect. I would love that for him. What's weird is that reminded me that Peyton Pritchard was my dream last night.
Was jerking
He
you
made
off?
like he made like 10 threes or something. And the like fantasy outlook thing was like, well, I just don't know if he can like continue this output,
Did Henry
but
write that?
I'd still pick him up. I don't know. One of him or his colleague in this dream. But
Sounds
I do
accurate
like,
enough.
what was that?
I said sounds accurate enough.
Yeah. So I I'm all for it for numerous reasons for the Celtics.
For me, I think Beef Stew, any team that I mean, I feel like Beef Stew could go
Chicago.
for a protected first round pick. I mean, Chicago could go in there, Boston could go in. It's just under $6 million that they need to get there. So, I mean, if I don't think the Pistons would want Payne Pritchard, but I guess a package of like Sam Hauser, DeLon Banton, and a bunch of second round picks, if you're not going to give up a first round pick, I just think when you get a guy like Isaiah Stewart, he's like the perfect modern day big in terms of what he can bring to the table. He's a guy who can shoot threes, grab rebounds, plays with an energy. Like he's absolutely jacked at 6'9", 250 pounds. And what do you think
One
about
thing to
him?
keep in mind is he seems like a huge locker room issue.
No, I think he's
Like
the opposite.
I think he'll be what? I think he'll be Draymond Green in probably like 10 years, possibly.
I see him more
No,
Ben Wallace.
I think
So
he's
I
just
see Ben
had a
Wallace with
few.
Draymond Green.
I think he's had the isolated incidents, but I think he's not like a toxic character.
Hmm.
Hey, I'm
I
all
think the same thing with Draymond Green. It's one of those players has an indefinite suspension.
I'm just saying, with a guy like Beef Stew, all right, what you get with him is he's going to be able to score in the post. He's going to be able to shoot threes at like a decent clip. He's 6'9", I believe. His wingspan's about 7 foot. He can basically guard some wings, like slow forward wings. Forwards. He can guard some forwards, and he can guard all bigs. He's an insane rebounder. Every championship team needs a good rebounder, especially off the glass. He's a good enough athlete that he has some mobility on the floor. And the thing is that the only downside about
Great
him
dribbler.
is that yeah he kind of over dribbles or looks. He tries to act like he's a. Sometimes he tries to act like he's a scorer when he's not, which is nothing against Beef Stew. It's just he should just know his role, be background noise more. I love
the
it.
issue is the issue is Troy Weaver and Monty Williams don't help him out here. Like
I
I don't
just
know,
think
he's better as a 5, and they're
yeah.
playing him as a 4. And so yeah, like
Next to
especially
Kristaps
Burns down
Porzingis
there.
though, like
Oh no, I think him on the Celtics would be perfect because I would put him on the bench. But
well, what I wanted to
or
say,
I don't think he needs to come off the bench. But yeah, you're right. With KP, that sounds like a really good fit, much better than Jalen Duren.
I
And
think it's
he would
situational.
bring.
The fit, like
You
power
know what?
forwards.
I actually love this trade idea, and I think he would bring the edge to Boston that they lost with Marcus Smart. Because
Ooh,
Beef Stew,
that's a good
especially
point.
like as Henry's saying, I'm just joshing here. There's just isolated incidents, and he's just about that life. Like he's just a beast. he's got your back. So I think Dre didn't even mess with him, but I think he's perfect because I think they really lost the important culture piece with Marcus Smart being gone. I don't think Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown are like the alphas in the room
They
like
don't have that
Marcus
crazy
Smart
energy.
was.
Isaiah Stewart's got that
Yeah,
crazy
I
psychopath.
love that trade. I would lock in
Same.
Celtics to the finals if that happens. I'd lock it.
Well, I thought what you were saying with the fact that Mr. Marcus Smart leaving and they didn't have that energy anymore and getting beef stew. And I think, again, going back to that situational, I think certain lineups he shouldn't play power forward, but next to a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, or if we even go to Dallas next to like Derek Lively, or even but for a team like if he went to the Clippers, I think he should be the starting center for like the Clippers or not starting center, maybe off the bench center for the Clippers, and shouldn't really play next to Zubas because of the team's lineup. But I think there's dude, imagine him next to Bam Adebayo. There's so many places where you could see a guy like Beef Stew fit next to either
most
between
of those players
teams.
would just be like Detroit all over again, where he's just playing next to a non-stretching big. And that's why I think he should come off the bench. But he's not a bench player talent-wise on most teams. Well, it depends. But I think Detroit's done him very dirty, and I think Jalen Duren's not a good player to play next to for maximizing his potential. But he would be perfect on Boston.
Yeah, I agree with Boston being like the best fit. I think Dallas and a couple in Miami are good other fits too.
Damn,
the Thunder aren't bad, but I kind of want the Thunder to get Lowry marketing.
Whoa. Chill.
So we actually have a handful of other rumors that we can go ahead and look who's calling me. Look who's on the phone but can't get on the fucking show.
Illegal Eagle?
Oh, I can, dude. My phone died. I didn't wake up from my alarm. I'm about to hop on.
He's about to hop on. Look at this.
Send a video. Tell him to send a video.
Send a video. Send a video. Send a video.
Send a video of what?
Send the video, bro.
I just woke up, brother. I'm in bed.
Send the video.
Just gonna hop on the fucking computer screen, brother.
He doesn't get it. Send the video.
Oh
Video
no.
of what?
Send the video.
Of my bed?
Oh my god.
Of you taking the pill.
What video do you want me to send?
Of you taking the pill. Send the video.
Shut up, Ron. I don't get what you're trying to talk about here.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Anthony Edwards? There's no video.
He's so stupid. He says, everybody's laughing so hard. You're the one who sent it in the group chat. When he kept saying,
Oh, he was the one who
It
said
took me a while to get what you're talking about because I'm fucking half asleep, brother.
okay, Anthony Edwards, where he kept sending the girl, send the video.
Send the vid.
Send the video.
You got the money. What's taking so long?
Yeah, there you go. God, this guy was ruining the bits.
Yeah, I know, because I'm fucking half asleep, brother.
No one cares about you, Luke.
Send the vid.
Send the
You
vid.
got the money. What's taking so long? That's my favorite bit.
That's like a hell nah. No, the best of this is hell nah. Hell nah.
Hell
no.
You got the money. What's taking so long?
Let's handle this like grown-ups.
Okay.
Let's handle this like grown-ups. Yeah. Let's handle this like grown-ups is so good. Can we agree? I told Jackson that it was gaslighting that she sent him a picture of a baby in a onesie saying, "This is so cute, heartbroken." That's gaslighting.
That's peak gaslighting.
That's the definition. Like that, she knew what she was doing when she sent that to him.
Exactly what she was doing when she sent that shit.
She missed out on the bed.
Oh,
But she would have to have a kid.
Nah.
God, that video, that picture is just so funny, dude.
Tell him to just get on the damn show.
He is getting on the show.
Is he getting on the show? All right.
Okay, we'll see you shortly. Get on the show.
Send the video.
Send the video. Send the video. But I want to tell you, there's a few more rumors going on. We're hearing about the Pistons. OG Anunoby and Tobias Harris. I made a video on that yesterday. So supposedly the Pistons do not care about John Collins. I really think the Luke Kennard deal I sent in the group chat yesterday is not that bad of a deal. Okay, for John Collins, and they actually need John.
Why
Collins.
then we'd be having another James Wiseman.
All right, and then Miles Bridges is
Oh
supposedly
my
on the
goodness,
Pistons'
dude.
radar.
What are
do
they
you,
doing?
you
I
don't like
love the
it?
idea of it, but like, what are they
That would be
doing?
nice.
I know, but they're not going to get Miles Bridges. What the hell is going on in Detroit?
So what do you
I would
mean?
like
They have
to.
2 wins. Who are they trading? If it doesn't start with Cade or end with Cunningham, I don't know how they're acquiring any of those players.
Well,
Any of
Charlotte's already said they don't want Miles Bridges, so I think that it'll just be a buy low from Detroit for a rental, and then they try to re-sign him,
No,
obviously.
I think it's a buy high. They just so instead of waiting till
for
free
who?
agency, Henry, just tilt your cam just down a little bit. But the
There's no
one
talent
thing,
on their roster.
the whole thing I was gonna say is what they if the Pistons went for him now, they have enough cap space to get him in free agency, which is what they're saying. Pistons probably aren't trading for OG Anunoby because they'd rather just go and get him outright in free agency. But Miles Bridges might be a hotter ticket than OG Anunoby, so the thought process is to get his restricted free agency rights by getting, or not his restricted free agency rights because those already been used, but his bird rights from the Hornets via trade, and then they can offer him more money than everybody else. But this way, they get first offer or first refusal, and they can trade him. And what they could do, they have the assets to give it up. I've seen floated online packages of like Jaden Ivey with, I believe, Jaden Ivey and basically, I guess you would say, I think a lot of it's been around Jaden
Cade
Ivey.
Cunningham.
Now, I think
Damn, really?
yeah, I think I want to say Jaden Ivey, and then it was like Kevin Knox and whatever. I think the draft rights of like Gabriel Procida, and then a first round pick unprotected, either for like 2 years or 3 years down the road, something like that.
I thought Charlotte wanted Miles Bridges back.
They don't.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if they want him back. He's not coming back. It's basically been alluded that Miles Bridges, it is by all parties, has been reported that all parties have mutually basically agreed that like Miles is not coming back.
They're done.
Yeah.
That's weird though.
Yeah, it's like 28 minutes ago is literally just Miles Bridges on Pistons radar. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but I mean, yeah, it
So
does make sense.
the report, to be exact, reads, while I understand Washington's appeal to others, he's not someone I've heard Detroit is interested in. I assume they're talking about PJ Washington. If that was the case, the Pistons would have made a run at him this past free agency when he was a restricted free agent. The one player on the Hornets roster that he's heard the Pistons have internal discussions over the last year is Miles Bridges, the Flint, Michigan natives, on a one-year deal, largely due to his off-the-court legal troubles. He could have been making a 4-year, $140 million deal was what he was reported to get. He ended up pleading no contest, got probation for 3 years, was suspended for 30 games, was missing all of last year. Now he's one of the few guys who's been able to miss an entire season and come back and hit the ground running as if he didn't miss any time at all, if not better than what he was before he left. So the whole thought is, I don't think he'll get that 4-year, $140 million deal, but he'll still get like a 4-year, $100 million deal, I believe. Still believe he's a $100 million player, but I think Miles Bridges, probably fucking hates the Hornets and feels disrespected that they didn't stand behind him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
kind of did, no?
they definitely stood behind him. I mean, not publicly as much as I guess he
That's
would
what
have liked. but,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Yeah, publicly they didn't
I'm not gonna side with Miles Bridges. Like they don't have a right. They don't need to stand with you.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
No,
that.
I know you're not. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm just saying it's dumb for him to think that way. But anyway,
We don't know if he thinks that way. That's me just being devil advocate opinion, 100%.
that might not even be anything. Yeah, like that might not even be why he wants to leave. But I think it's just good for both parties to just move on from this. You know, it might just be a mutual, like, it's not one specific issue that led to Miles Bridges wanting out and Charlotte wanting to get rid of him, but it's like, okay, dude, there's been a lot going on the last few years, especially in the Hornets organization, not just with Miles Bridges. So just get a change of scenery. It'll be better for everyone involved.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Also,
You're also very right that it would be a buy high environment, so that they could offer him the additional money by getting what his partial bird rights, and then having the chance to re-sign him would be an advantage for them for sure.
Yeah, because they just offer him more. I think that way they just get offer first refusal. I think it's just a similar situation when a team trades for a guy who's on a rookie deal that they know the team isn't going to re-sign, but is expiring, so they can just get the restricted free agent. Obviously, the restricted free agent offer, 10 like the qualifying offer was used this past year to bring him back, so he's not a restricted free agent, but it's just the bird rights because I think he has four. If you trade for him, you get the 4-year bird rights, meaning that they can over.
You can pay him more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole reason. So you basically have the greater chance of re-signing him. But besides that, this is one that I found very interesting right here before we get to the next slide. The Wizards, who are going full tank, and this article I was reading this morning was alluding to the fact that the Wizards are more willing to let this be a slow rebuild, as they think which we all know this year's draft class of 2024 is viewed very badly. It's like basically the weakest draft class since Anthony Bennett, they're saying. Like it's like horrendously.
Yeah, and let's be real here, Ciro. The 2013 draft class, if you remember the discourse around it, it was not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Kevin Love?
Like if you remember, people like the 2013 discourse, like people weren't openly shitting on how bad the 2013 draft was when it happened.
Yeah, who ended up going there? You had Anthony Bennett, you had Giannis Antetokounmpo, you had Victor Oladipo.
Nerlens, Ben McLemore, Cody Zeller.
It wasn't really that bad, but this one.
But you know what I mean. Like
That's pretty bad.
It's not, yeah. If considering like those are some of the top picks in the draft. But anyway, it wasn't being talked about like a historically bad class.
Yeah, because I think the undrafted and some of the second rounders pulled that class
But like,
off.
yeah. And even before the draft, it wasn't like every scout was saying, "Man, this draft sucks. Why are teams wanting to pick number one?"
No, but people are literally saying this draft actually fucking blows.
Yeah, people are saying that about this draft, which I've just found very surprising.
It's just because
I'm not saying it's true or not, but
I've read multiple people say, like in their
about.
opening paragraphs for their mock drafts, they're like, "Hey, there is no clear consensus." They're like, "I wouldn't." I've heard multiple people basically say, "If I had a top 5 pick, I wouldn't draft anybody. I would trade out of having a top 5 pick."
Yeah, which in the NBA is in NFL that's commonplace. In the NBA, that's wild.
Yeah, they're basically saying like I read everywhere that they're like, yeah, nobody in this draft is a franchise-changing player or like has.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to diss on anybody in this draft class, but at least I can really only speak on the college guys that I've been watching. And like, I mean, Isaiah Collier's a good player. I like him. I think he's going to be a productive NBA player, but he is the best college prospect right now. And he's 6'5" with 6'4" wingspan.
And he might not even go like top
and
3
yeah,
because he's not physically like.
He is. He's super physically imposing. He is like a James Harden body type. It's purely the wingspan.
I think.
No, he is. He's like 6'5", 220, brother. He's a linebacker body.
I was going to say kind of like Donovan Mitchell body.
But he's bigger than Donovan Mitchell. Like he has bigger, stockier shoulders.
True. I'm not a Collier fan.
He just I like him, but like I said earlier, he has T-Rex arms, and that's a really big concern. Like he has a 6'4" wingspan. Rondo was 6'1", but his wingspan was like 6'10". So
I also love how they're hyping up Cam Boozer, and who's the power forward version, but people don't know his twin brother is Caden, who's a 6'9" point guard.
Yes.
Everyone talks about
They're
Cam.
both insane. Both insane.
Everyone talks about Cam Boozer. Like Cam, because he plays power forward, he's very similar to Cooper Flagg. But no one talks about Caden, who I love Caden more. I'm on the Caden wave more than I want Caden more than Cam because he's a 6'9" point guard. Like if you look at all the clips of Cam, the guy passing Cam the ball is always Caden.
Dude, it's crazy. The Boozer twins are crazy.
But
it'll be interesting to see. Imagine this draft actually turns out to be like really stat. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, so the report though I just wanted to get at was saying that the people around the league expect the Wizards to remain one of the worst teams next season and in 2025 to 26 as well. So this is a 3-year tank, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready. Round of applause.
Go Wiz.
Go fucking Wiz.
Hey, Sarah, at least your Magic and your Timberwolves are actually good, so.
I know.
But you know what's funny? It's like now that the Magic are good, the Celtics are actually beating them, which is just, funny.
It is funny. So I wanted to wrap up our show today with these NBA trade rumor rankings. So by Hoops Hype, to see what you guys think is the most legitimate things that could happen around the league, or what you guys think as, basically the preface, what could potentially happen. So basically they have 5 players.
John Collins.
John Collins has just kind of blown up. If we want to talk about John Collins real quick before we get to this one.
Yeah, because he didn't fly with them to Sacramento.
Wait.
He didn't go on. Did you not hear that? He didn't go with the team to Sacramento on Saturday.
No.
Yeah, that was I was seeing that all over Twitter. And if you look at the lineup card and you look at the box score, not listed. Not even listed as a DNP on ESPN's box score. And he didn't travel with the team.
His stats aren't even that bad.
Yeah, I think it's just fit, dude.
Yeah, I think it's literally just fit, but
it's literally just, dude, you don't fit what this team's trying to do. You're not Lowry, so you're not a star, or even though you don't fit our timeline, we can keep you. And you're we're a losing team.
They also have a log jam.
They have a huge log jam there too. Sorry.
Right. They've decided that it's time for Taylor Hendricks minutes. It's been an illness for Collins, but that's essentially probably just healthy scratches.
Yep.
The thing is he's hitting his shot, and it's not like
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that illness report. I literally just saw he didn't fly with the team.
The thing is I'm a huge Collins guy, and ever since he got busted from PEDs, he's been on.
You remember me and you defending Collins before he got traded from Atlanta?
I've always said Collins had the potential to be a top 5 player at his position. John Collins has the potential to be one of the best power forwards in the league. People don't realize that. He can score at all 3 levels. He can defend 1 through 5. Physically, he can do it. Not that he has.
Yeah.
He can dribble. He can dribble. He can dribble. He can pass. He literally can do everything. He can do everything. I've gotten conversation with Hawks fans and even at Summer League with Hawks coaches, and they all praise John Collins. They're that guy literally has the tools to be one of the best basketball players in the league. Love John Collins. But even now, dude, he's taking 5 threes a night at 38%.
It's not even bad. It just happened out of nowhere. I just remember one day all of a sudden I put on the Kings game and there's no John Collins. So I'm what's going on with John Collins on Saturday night? And I look on Twitter and John Collins not with the team. John Collins is on the trade block. Jazz are listening to offers.
I personally think the best offer they could do, best deal for John Collins, guys, is him going to Memphis. You set up a deal where it's Luke Kennard and John Conchar.
Maybe.
That's just salary.
I think that's not a lot of value, but yeah, just salary.
I think you're just trying to get. The Jazz might have to give a second round picks. The Jazz might have to give up picks to move John Collins. I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because that's it's his contract.
How likely you think he gets moved?
5 months. 5 months after trading for him, they're going to trade him again.
I go with Henry though. That's a Taylor Hendricks. They just couldn't stop. They could not give Hendricks minutes.
Yeah, and it's he hasn't really been playing that much this year.
Right, but it's only been recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw he got I wasn't really watching the Kings game too intently because it was a fucking blowout, but he was on the court a lot in that game.
Yeah,
I think he got 20 minutes in that game.
Yeah, over 20 minutes in 4 straight games.
Mm-hmm. And that was not happening all year.
Yep, coincides directly with them pulling the plug on the Collins experiment.
Yeah, I think it's just a result that
he's your top 10 pick. You gotta play him. It just sucks for John Collins, but they had to play him.
But he also needs to go somewhere where he could have more than a spot up role. If you actually want to rebuild someone who's going to be an impact player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually have to use him.
Could we just? Man, could we get him to Indiana somehow? What is Obi Toppin getting paid right now?
Not enough.
Not enough. You basically have to do Buddy Hield, and that's not worth it.
Buddy Hield, and then you
wait. They might be able to eat their salary. The Pacers have some of the most salary cap space in the league.
Yeah, maybe, but it's the Pacers.
I do like that. It might have to be Jalen Smith packaged with TJ McConnell.
Then the Jazz give up Collins in like a second or something.
Yeah, Collins in a couple seconds. That's not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal. I mean, it like the Jazz get off of his contract. They get a couple guys that they don't really have to bring back unless like Jalen Smith or something is good for them.
No, I completely agree. All right, let's run through these rumors. So what we're gonna do here, guys, for everyone listening on the NBA show, what we're gonna do is we'll have five guys. It's PJ Tucker, Pascal
Burgers and fries.
Siakam, Zach LaVine, and PJ Tucker, Pascal Siakam, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and OG Anunoby. And we're gonna list 1 to 10, 10 being most likely that they will be traded, and if you want, you can say what team, and 1 being not likely that they'll be traded. You can also say if they're not going to be traded, if they're going to be bought out. But basically, I just want to hear everyone's thoughts on this. We can just run through this. It'll probably take like 5 minutes. But let's go ahead. PJ Tucker, I've said this before, and I kind of touched on this before we went on break. I believe PJ Tucker is a guy that nobody's going to trade for because of the money. And either the Clippers are just going to tell him we're saving you for the playoffs and we need you on the roster, or B, we're just going to have to buy you out because everybody else is just going to be like, hey, we're not going to trade even a second round pick for a 40-year-old.
Because isn't he getting paid
10
like
million.
almost 10 million?
He is almost 11
Okay,
million.
exactly. It's over 10 million. Okay, I was like around 10 million. I figured it was somewhere in that ballpark. Either way, too much money for him.
Yeah, I think
And
it's a
I
one.
think what he is like, I think what's going to happen is I think the Clippers are like, because there's not a market for him. Like no one's going to trade for him. So what's going to happen is
There's a market for him if he's bought out. I don't think
I don't
there's a
think the
trade.
Clippers are going to buy him. I honestly don't think the Clippers are going to buy him out.
I
think
agree.
they are going to to keep him on the roster until the playoffs.
I
Even if he
agree.
doesn't even play a role for them in the playoffs, it's like, hey, we need you just in case shit goes south and Kawhi ends up missing games in the playoffs again, and Paul George
Salary
ends up missing
filler.
games in the playoffs again.
Salary
need
filler
you.
too for next
It would have to
offseason.
be salary, yeah, and salary filler for like a bigger trade.
Exactly.
But he will not be moved this year. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't even think he gets bought out. I think he just stays with the Clippers.
He only gets bought out if he's really that disgruntled.
And it's got to be really bad. Like we've got to like nothing that I've seen. I mean, like he's been disgruntled, but it's like Clippers aren't really going to move on from him. They don't need to.
Yeah.
He'd have to publicly call out Steve Ballmer for being like, a rapist or something.
Henry?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I do think that he is still a good player, so I would give like a 3, but I would find a deal pretty unlikely.
Jackson, would you have your Rockets somebody trade for him?
No, but 5.
5? All right. Jackson's more likely than everybody else. So let's move on to the next guy that they're saying right here, and that will be DeMar DeRozan. They're saying that not the Miami Heat, my apology, the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers would be the most my apology, the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks are the two most likely teams to trade for DeMar DeRozan if he were. He is an expiring deal. He supposedly very much values Chicago, like he loves Chicago, it's his home, and the Bulls very much value him. However, contract talks have stalled, and the thought is if he goes to New York or Miami, he's basically going to verbally commit to them and resign there. So I just don't see Miami being a fit. Like Jimmy Butler and DeMar, very similar skill sets offensively. So I just don't like that. New York, I kind of like it, but I feel like you're going to give up too many young guys, like a combination of RJ Barrett or, Evan Fournier with Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly. I just think it's too much for a guy that I don't think really raises your ceiling, just more so raises your floor. So I think DeMar DeRozan being traded is a 5 because I could see a contending team getting desperate and wanting to get a fresh player.
You kind of took the words right out of my mouth for the Knicks. I was about to say the exact same thing. They're going to have to give up too many young players, and it's going to gut their roster. So it won't necessarily be a ceiling raiser to push them over the edge from being like the 4th or 5th best team in the East. But yeah, I'll go with like a 4 or 5. Decently likely, like average chance he might get traded.
Yeah, I could see someone getting desperate.
Yeah, and it would have to be like, let's say, for example, the Heat go on a slump and are in the 9 seed at the deadline. Well, that would be an instance where they would have to make a move, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I agree. Henry?
We still got 2 months. A lot can change.
Yeah, and I do think that he could help Miami if you have to stagger him with Jimmy Butler a ton. I don't like the Knicks fit. I think he could help the Lakers to stagger LeBron down the stretch.
Makes
I
sense.
would give it I'd give it a I give it a 6 though. I think he's going to be on the move, but it's hard to say where the best fit would be.
I hear you. Jackson, what do you think your hometown kid?
What is it? DeMar?
DeMar.
1. And with that, I will depart.
Ciao.
Zach Levine's a 1 as well. Max Kobe White. Max Patrick Williams. Run it back.
Continuity. All right, so let's go over here. Next one on the list is Pascal Siakam. I think Pascal Siakam is a 7. I do believe he will either go to the Hawks or the Kings or the Thunder. He is a guy that I think one of these young teams believe that he is the like teams that have two guys. So
Hawks.
yeah, I think it's Hawks personally.
Hawks, because they're the most desperate. Like, they are the most desperate of any of the teams that you just said. They're way more desperate to do something other than the Thunder
And I think
and the Kings.
And I think the deal is going to be a lot simpler than people think. I think it's going to be Clint Capella going to a third team, and they getting assets for Clint Capella to send to the Raptors, and them sending like DeAndre Hunter or Bogdan with maybe like AJ Griffin and maybe Kobe Buffkin or somebody to the Raptors,
Yeah.
and then the Raptors send Pascal with maybe like Malachi Flynn or like maybe an asset from another team like the Grizz if they send Clint Capella there because the Grizz need a backup center. So something like that where assets are. I think it's I agree. I say a 7 Pascal.
6 or 7, probably. I think the Hawks are just desperate enough that they might do something drastic and make a trade for Pascal. I don't know if that's necessarily going to make them better than a play-in team, but that's what they want. That's what they're going to do. Like, they know that their time is running out with this core to do something successful.
And I think they're the only
Isn't it?
Go.
Oh, sorry. You first. I'm about to talk about the Raptors.
I was just gonna say the only thing I think holding this deal back is that the Raptors are probably asking for Jalen Johnson, and the Hawks are trying to do everything in their power not to trade Jalen Johnson in this deal.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. I think that Jalen Johnson is definitely like what hinges on this deal not being done.
It
But I
wasn't.
also think that it's.
Go.
I also think that it's funny that the Raptors are running out of time to make a move and they need to trade Pascal, obviously. But like now you're having the Scotty Barnes breakout, so you're going to tear down the best iteration of this group that has existed around Scotty Barnes, just as he's ascending as a great player.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, but it's like at the end of the day, like they got to get rid of Pascal. It's not saying he doesn't fit the team's timeline, but like he's about to be a free agent. Like they're not going to resign him. They're not.
Yep.
So
No.
you got to get something from him.
With what you guys are saying, I actually think they trade Pascal, and I think I give OG Anunoby a 3 at being traded. If they keep Pascal,
He's way more likely to stay if they keep Pascal.
So
if they trade Pascal.
If they trade Pascal, OG stays. If they don't trade Pascal, OG gets traded. But I think they're trading Pascal because OG is a better fit next to Scotty Barnes.
Pascal's worth more.
Pascal's worth more.
No, maybe.
He's a better player. He's a better player than OG.
Yes.
I think you can get more for Pascal. He's a better player.
And in a weird way, OG might be cheaper to keep long term. And it's just, I think personally, OG is a more seamless fit. And then they kind of appease OG's ego by making him now the second star instead of him being third star. I give it a 3. I don't think he gets traded.
It depends on what happens with Pascal, but yeah, I feel like they would definitely be more likely to trade Pascal, and if we're assuming that they will, OG should stay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll give it a 5 or something if they don't trade Pascal.
All right, and let's get to the last one right here, and that
Mr. LaVine.
is Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine being traded is an 8. They're saying
very common.
They're saying it's either going to be the Lakers or the
Knicks.
The Knicks we're hearing, but we're also hearing Detroit could get in there. We're hearing
Jesus.
We're hearing rumblings of a few other teams. I personally, no offense to Zach LaVine, seems like a nice guy. I just don't think he plays winning basketball. I think he's a very similar, if not a very similar player to Bradley Beal. Maybe worse.
Maybe slightly worse, but
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like before this year, like Zach LaVine's pretty much been like a 25-point scorer for like the last 5 seasons. Like
Yeah.
it's not that like he's a good player. Like he's gonna get you like 23. for 24 because that's what he does.
No, I agree.
So, like I don't know if not playing winning basketball is the right term. I mean, we know he's not a good defender, but clearly the best way to maximize his skill set is to get him on a playoff contender, on a good team, not languishing on the shitty Chicago Bulls. I think
Yeah,
the
that's a good
Lakers
point.
makes the most sense. I think the Lakers makes the most sense as far as like them getting the best out of him.
I agree. I agree. Henry?
Yeah, it's really just a matter of are they down to tie up their future flexibility by acquiring him?
Exactly. All
I
right.
don't like the Knicks fit.
I don't like the Knicks fit
Same.
either.
Same.
I like the Miami Heat fit the best.
Yeah, I think the thought of him on the Lakers is dangerous. I would say that would be my
I'd say
favorite
Lake.
fit.
I
I'd
just
put
think
his
they
trade
give up too
likelihood at
much
like
to get him.
I'd put his trade likelihood at like a 6.5. I think that the
They're
cost is
saying
gonna
that
be
if the
really
Lakers trade
fascinating.
for him, it's gonna have to be Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. I'm not doing that. I'm good.
Yep, steep.
The whole thing is they're gutting the roster too much because they have too much. They don't have enough salaries to do the deal because their money's tied up to AD and LeBron. So basically,
Yeah.
you're going to be giving up 3 players for one guy. Not doing it.
Yeah, and like, I mean, if I was the Lakers, I would definitely try to include like D'Lo or something instead of like Austin Reeves. But
Yeah.
so
There's multiple deals around the league that make sense on paper, but they won't happen because when you actually look at the paper, you realize the salaries don't work.
yeah, and even if like obviously the salaries technically work, but the Lakers aren't gutting their entire team
Mm-hmm.
to get Zach. Like they just wouldn't gut their entire team to get Zach LaVine. It doesn't make sense. The Bulls would. If they're doing 3-for-1, the Bulls are going to have to do something like attach a pick or
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't know, but I mean Zach LaVine probably a 6 or 7, maybe an 8. Maybe as we get closer to the deadline, things change.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
like he's a good tradable asset, but
Right here.
No matter the occasion.
what I want-
well,
Great.
Oh,
Carl Anthony Towns.
well, I did it real quick because it was so easy. When you looked at it, it was so
Yeah.
easy. Carl
Oh
Anthony Towns.
yeah.
But I would do Hoops Grid, but I'm on. I gotta go, guys. So Luke, you should
That's fine.
send us the Hoops Grid, and we'll post it on Twitter or X, I guess.
Yeah,
It'd be.
I might do that later.
If you do it,
Now
send
that I've
it.
got no school, I've got time.
Yeah, he'll wake up hopefully for the show.
Yeah, I didn't charge my phone last night. That's my bad. It's on like 10%.
I'll buy you a webcam too.
You'll buy me a webcam. My laptop webcam isn't doing it for you.
Dude, you look like you're in like 2005, and you just hop through the portal.
Sorry, man. It's a laptop webcam.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you one.
I hopped through a time machine.
I'll send you a webcam.
I hopped through a time machine to the year 2005. Now I'm gonna play the Carter 2 nonstop in the background.
All right,
Then
guys.
I'm gonna go get my baggy suits on.
Thanks for watching the NBA show, Goat Life.
Happy belated Hanukkah.
Yeah, happy belated Hanukkah, fellow tribes.
Happy belated Hanukkah, everybody.
Yeah.
Sir.
L'chaim. Dude,
Alright.
some Jews tried to get me to get a tizzle. I can't say it. What the string thing? They tried-
Oh, to fill in.
Tefillin. Yeah, the tefillin.
Yeah, like I was not gonna be able to say that, but
Yeah, tefillin. I can never say that word.
all right, Joe. I'll see y'all later.
See you later.